Welcome students. In today's class, we are going to discuss about the functions of layers of OSI reference model. So in the previous class, we have discussed about what are all the 7 layers of OSI reference model. So in this class, we are going to see what are all the functions of each and every layer. So you know very well about the lowermost layer of the OSI reference model, which is nothing but the physical layer. So the main tasks of the physical layer we are going to discuss in today's class. So what is the need of the physical layer? The physical layer is the important layer which coordinates the functions for transmitting the data over the physical medium. It deals about the electrical and mechanical specifications of the interface and transmission medium. It also defines the functions of physical devices as well as interfaces. This diagram depicts how the physical layer is communicating with the transmission medium. So the left side indicates the physical layer receives the data from the data link layer in the form of frames, and the physical layer converts the frames into the raw bits, which is nothing but zeros and ones. After converting the frames into raw bits, the physical layer transmits the raw bits into the transmission medium in the form of physical signal. Through the transmission medium, the data will be transmitted in the form of signals, and at the receiver side, again the signals will be transmitted to the physical layer in the form of raw bits. Again, the physical layer transmits the raw bits into the data link layer. So the main functionalities of physical layer are described here. The first main function of the physical layer is it determines the characteristics of interfaces as well as the transmission medias. It determines how to represent the data while transmitting through the physical medium. The physical layer also defines the number of bits which are transmitted at the particular time. It determines the synchronization of bits between the sender and receiver. The physical layer establishes the connection between the sender and receiver. The connection may be of two types. One is point-to-point configuration and another one is multi-point configuration. So what is point-to-point configuration? So the two devices will be connected, that is the sender as well as receiver will be connected through the dedicated line, whereas in multi-point configuration, the link will be shared among several devices. The important task of the physical layer is it determines the topology of the network. Either it may use the bus topology or star topology, mesh topology, otherwise the ring topology. So whatever is suitable for the network, it decides the topology for the network. The final function of the physical layer is transmission mode. It defines the direction of the transmission of data between the two devices. The transmission mode may be of simplex, half duplex, or full duplex. Simplex means the sender can transmit the data through the transmission medium and the receiver can only receive it. That is, the data may be transmitted in a single direction. The sender alone can transmit the data, the receiver alone can receive it. It cannot send the reply to the sender. That is called as simplex transmission mode. Half duplex transmission mode in the sense both the sender as well as receiver can transmit the data but not at the same time. That means the sender transmits the data. After receiving the data, the receiver can send the acknowledgement to the sender. Full duplex means both the sender as well as receiver can transmit the data simultaneously. So these are the main functions of physical layer. Let us recollect the important tasks of the physical layer. So the first task is the physical layer determine the physical characteristics of the interfaces as well as the transmission media. Also, the physical layer shows how to represent the bits, that is in the form of zeros and ones, and how to transmit the raw bits into the signals, electrical signals, when the data is transmitted through the transmission medium. Then data rate refers the transmission rate, the number of bits, how many number of bits will be transmitted per second. Also, it determines the synchronization of bits, that is the sender, there should be the synchronization between the sender and receiver. So the speed of the sender and the speed of the receiver should be synchronized. So the synchronization of sender and receiver will be taken care by the physical layer. Then also the physical layer is responsible for configuring the transmission medium, that is either the point-to-point configuration or multi-point configuration. Then it decides the physical topology of the network, as well as it determines the transmission mode, either the simplex, half duplex or full duplex. In the next class, we will see about the main functions of the layer called data link layer, which is above the physical layer. Thank you.